What's up, everybody? Pete the Hybrid Guy here, and today we are in the CT once again to do a really cool mod. We're going to get rid of the old factory stereo in here and replace it with this hopefully much better, much nicer eBay special Android and Apple CarPlay compatible head unit. So let's dive in and get started. All right, with any good installation video, we need to figure out where we're going to start. Now, obviously, I want to get rid of my original stereo here and replace it with hopefully a better Android and Apple CarPlay unit here. So what came in the box? We have our unit, of course, our less than helpful user's manual, and if you end up buying one of these, you'll read that and understand why. It's got a lot of typos in it. Our main wiring harness, 2 USB connections, connections for camera, GPS, microphone, and of course our mounting brackets. So we're going to dive in and look, so what we need to do from here is just kind of keep this stuff on the back burner for a moment. What we need to do is shift our focus over to here and get this unit out of the way, and then look at where we're going to place all of this stuff to make it function and look like it's a nice modern update right here. So that's what I'm going to do now. I want to make sure no one breaks anything. So these lift straight up and then they start to slide back. But you can see right here, this piece of trim is inhibiting that from coming out. So I'm taking a plastic trim removal tool and I'm going to pop this open all along here, and that will allow me to get these side bolsters out. So that is where I would start first. Plastic trim removal tool, you can get these at Harbor Freight for like $3, and they will save any marring or scarring or destroying of any of your plastic trim pieces. So just to give you kind of a explanation there, you can see that this piece fits right up into there, and so that other trim piece that goes in there inhibits these from getting moved. So what I did with my trim tools, I started at this side and just popped it out. These all come out fairly easily with that trim tool. Then I just kind of pulled it back this way, and then these trim pieces came off. So once you have your side pieces off, there's hardware up there that we're not going to get to just yet. What we need to do is continue to gain access. Now I pulled out the little, some of you have the navigation that goes here. For some of us, it's just the base model tray. And I did that so I could pop this out and move it to the side. And we're going to need to access that wiring stuff here later. I will talk about that when we get into it. For right now, we're just focused on getting this stereo unit out. Now, most of this is put together with a lot of plastic clips, which kind of makes it nice. Because once you have stuff exposed, the rest of it can just pop right out. So you saw me kind of pop this out, and then what gave me kind of some trouble was this little piece that goes right up in there. Be careful with that and just kind of work it around. Don't force it out because you'll end up breaking it. I did not, because I take my time and I'm very gentle with things. But just to kind of give you some, kind of a tech tip there, be gentle with that. Then you're going to see, we've got all this wiring and everything down here. You can, at this time, disconnect it and set this trim piece aside and set that aside just to make it easier and to give you some room to really work in this area. That's what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to take out the bolts that are holding this unit in. There's one up there, over there, and then there's a couple down here that I will get out. Anyway, I'm going to take this unit out now. To get this loose, there are 4 bolts in total. That one, that one, that one, and the top one. I accidentally took out the bottom one there like a ding-dong, but yeah, it's those 4, and then this is now loose. So I'm going to pull that out, and we're going to disconnect the wiring and then pull in our new Apple unit right there and take a look at what we've got to do next. In getting this out, you want to gain as much clearance as possible. There are 4 clips, 2 on top, 2 on bottom, to remove the little trim that goes around this that goes around the shifter knob. Make sure you take that off, and there's 2 little gaskets that go behind it as well. Keep those laid. I have pulled out quite a few stereos in my day. This one I think was probably one of the more difficult ones. You have to really kind of work around these brackets, and they tend to get caught up on the sides here. So just some tips moving forward. What I did was kind of position it side to side. Oh, camera needs to quit focusing like that. Position it side to side, and then just work it out. And eventually it did come out. I had to undo all the connectors up here, which were pretty easy. Again, don't force them, just work with them, and they'll come right out. So real quick, I noticed something. Pulling all of this out, I don't even think I need to remove those brackets, and here is why. If you look at how these position, they are in the same bolt holes as the originals. And so what I need to do is just fasten these onto the new unit, which I'm going to figure out how to do that now, and then that unit can go right back in. So next stop, leave that alone, work on this. Okay, now we've got our brackets screwed into place here, and we've got rid of a bunch of junk that was behind here on that old unit. Now it's really time to figure out the wiring. Now, our main power harness is pretty easy. It goes right in here, and it's just going to clip in. Now, I did contact the manufacturer, and I said, look, is there any other harnesses or anything? They said everything is included to install this in the car without any mods. So, I am hopeful that that is actually the case. So far, it looks like everything clips-wise is going to fit into, our main white clips there, and then that power is going to come on right here. So I'm going to first get this connected and these connected and kind of set that in place. Of course, my antenna as well, and we'll set that in place and see if this thing boots on, first of all, and what it looks like for an initial boot. Now, one great thing about Toyota products is their harnesses are all pretty general. And so far, this has all been plug and play. Let's give it some power here. Oh, check it out. That booted up immediately, which was cool. Definitely an Android interface. I leave my plastic on till the last, so. Hold on a second, we gotta shut this door. But, date and time provided, okay. Oh, we could use GPS provided time. I didn't plug that in yet. But, yeah, we'll do that. Automatic time zone. Oh, for sure, we're turning that on. And, we're not using 24-hour format. Let's go up here and check it out. We've got our preliminary. Now, this is not bolted in or anything, but we've got, some other wires we definitely need to hook in here to get that functioning. So, but so far looks cool. And let's get the USB stuff plugged in and get this all put back together, then we'll play around with it. Okay, so here's another thing to consider, is your USB cables are super short, and I have to figure out how I'm going to work with these. For now, I'm going to tuck them away, and probably going to tuck away some of my other stuff here too, other than my microphone. I'm going to find a place for that that's within a reasonable distance. Really, my goal for today is to get this up and running, because I've got other things I got to do, and to make sure that all the functionality is there. So I'm going to put all this back together, and then we will test out functionality and everything else on the unit to see how it works. Okay, my favorite thing at the end of everything is the peel, and of course it's stuck right there. There we go. I'll have to get that out in a second. I've got a little bit of plastic up there, but overall, I mean, we've got all sorts of features here. Let's just hit Chrome, see what that does. Probably make us sign in. Yep, welcome to Chrome, except there we go. Oh, wow. It's been a minute since I've messed with an Android. Bluetooth, click to play. Now, I don't have my phone paired to that primarily because I am, what do you call it? Filming on it. But let's see if we can Get a radio signal here. Okay, I have no steering wheel controls. That's awesome. Not really. I'm gonna mess around with this for a bit and see what I can come up with, and go from there. Okay, so here's kind of like my overall consensus with this is I'm annoyed heavily by a couple things. Number one, the USB plugs that I plugged into the back of the radio don't work, so garbage. Second of all, this doesn't work, which is the factory USB, which I figured it wouldn't work. But more importantly, what really bothers me is I cannot up and down control anything on my steering wheel. No hang up, none of this functions here. It was like gone, right? No mode, no nothing. So how do you turn the volume up and down since you no longer have a knob? Oh wait, there's this random button here. And it's, that's what you get. And that's it. Oh, I want to go home, find the random button. Oh, sometimes it works, right? Oh, where'd it go? Now no one knows where it went. Okay, I'm touching it, home, and we're here, right? So yeah, I can go into Bluetooth and I can connect my phone, I can talk, I can, do all that, and I still need to link my phone. See, it shows that it's paired, but it does not really, I mean, I can change background and stuff, but the functionality of this is really limited from what I can see so far. Even with the GPS and some of these other functions in here, I mean, here's, all this needs to be figured out. So I have more work to do as far as figuring this out and figuring out how to make my Apple CarPlay work, because that is 100% the reason that I got this. So I'm gonna mess around a little more and I'll get back. Okay, so no Apple CarPlay through one of my USBs, and the other one was so short that it's stuffed up back up under there, so I have to take all this out now. I'm really not super pumped about it, mainly because I can do nothing over here. I've got to contact the manufacturer, read their ridiculous help manual, which offers no support, and try to figure this out. So for now, I'm going to hit the pause button on this, and when I have some more information on getting this thing to actually work as it's supposed to, and hopefully get all my functionality restored over here, then I will come back and finish this video. Okay, after a crap ton of messing around with this thing, I finally got some of the features to work in most ways. And so I'm going to run you through like what I ended up doing. I had to pull everything back out again, and I want to first start with the USB connections, which I'm still not 100% happy with. But turns out I was wrong, and I'm sorry for that. This metal case, you don't need to file. I had those turned upside down, and that's just on me. That was just me being an idiot and not seeing that for what it was. It was also really hard to tell that there were actually little connector tabs up there. But now I do have a working CarPlay USB. So that was my first gripe. I'm going to put that one to bed because at least one of the USB ports works. It does charge and connect my phone, so I'm happy about that. Now, the second thing is my steering wheel controls didn't work. That really bothered me. Now, as far as like command for Bluetooth or control or any of this, I want to show you what I found inside this unit that's actually kind of unique. However, these two functions and those two functions still don't work, and I'm trying to find an adapter that can help make this work. So I'd like to get all these functions to actually work the right way, but in the meantime, I found something that allows us to at least turn the music up and down other than touching that stupid dot. So if I touch here, I'm going to go to car settings. You can see that in the steering learn section, there's all these functions, right? And so you would think, oh, I'll just hit the plus and I'll hit the plus. Well, because this hardwired connection isn't hardwired down here somehow, that didn't work. But the ones that I did have that worked were these two buttons and these two buttons. So I did volume up, volume down, navigation, and home. And you can set those 4 buttons up with any 4 items on here. Now, at some point, that's going to drive me crazy enough to where I will figure out how to get these other 2 functions in there. But for now, this at least allows me to not have to worry about turning the volume up and down while driving. So, USB functionality, mostly check. Volume up and down, mostly check. And then my other 2 buttons, the home button and the GPS button, I did get to work. So now when I hit, I think it's that, boom, there it is. I did set it manually to Google Maps, and now, yeah, I can go in here. Now you can sign in with your Google account, and if you have, I'm on my home network, so I can update this. But once you plug your phone in, everything should connect the way it normally does through Apple CarPlay, and so far that has been the case. My biggest gripe about this is that it is a little slow for a 2023 Android operating unit. I'm going to take that up with the manufacturer. The GPS is also, the GPS that comes with it is also working. A lot of the functions are actually here. I mean, you can hit, whatever you need in here, and there's a bunch of other settings and configurations that I just have not taken the time to work with yet. So I can't plug my phone in to show you Apple CarPlay, but it does work. I have verified that. Bluetooth connectivity is easy to set up, and you can also toggle it on and off using that function there. I don't know what that is. I haven't been able to figure it out. It just says, phone not connected, and this is phone connected, right? So CarPlay is connected. Oh, I don't know why it says that. Maybe that's a disconnect. I don't know. Anyway, when I hit this before, it unpaired my devices, and yeah, and then you have all sorts of different settings and things in here for the car Bluetooth. Then this is specific to car Bluetooth, and then I can come back over here, hit my mode, now home button, and it will take me back to my normal screen. So let's wrap this up. For $149 with free shipping from eBay, is it worth it? Does this Apple CarPlay Android Auto unit for the CT200h make sense for the price? Yeah, it does. Does it have all the functionality that I want it to? No, but I did eventually get it to work. I will also say that I did grab the telematics ECU off of the previous unit. All the CTs have a telematics, and there is a connection. I saw there's a harness that you can get to retain the factory USB that connects into, I believe, this one. And I think this is the factory auxiliary port that you can do as well. And I think those can connect into the 2 USBs that you get on here. I'm probably gonna do something different with my factory aux port and the factory USB charge port. I'll probably put in just 2 charge ports there and wipe that out completely. But we'll see. So overall, like I said, was it worth it? Yeah, but to each their own. For 150 bucks, it really is an update, kind of. I mean, it's cool to get the screen and all of that. And in here, there's things like you can sign into your YouTube and to your Netflix account. And if you're Android savvy, there's other things you can sign into here as well. But if you do end up getting one of these, don't feel too frustrated. I spent pretty much the entire day just going through the settings, trying to figure stuff out, like how does this work, because the booklet that they give you is garbage. Just wanted to show everything back together, kind of where I routed things so far, and this is going to change right here, but I just put the microphone right here. It's got a little clip to it, just routed from under here. And same with the functioning USB. It's right here. I'll probably end up moving that USB into my box back here or in a different position. Maybe I can route it to here and get that to function, but that is a project for another time. It actually does look really cool with everything in here, and you can just go right back into the Apple CarPlay and all of that. So it actually, once it started kind of functioning, now that the systems are kind of together, it's not so bad. Like I said, I still wish I had that functionality here, but overall, you know what, for 150 bucks, it's really not too bad. So, and there's other features that it can do if you were to plug in more cameras and all of that. And then the Android settings, you can turn your Netflix on and all of that too. So more things for another time, but this is what it does look like all installed, and it looks really quite nice actually. So all right, I just want to wrap this up and say thank you for watching and commiserating with me today. This was quite the project. It threw me for a loop a little bit there, but I did get it functioning to a place where I'm okay with it. You know, as I just showed you, the Apple CarPlay actually does work fairly well. The Android Auto does work, and it was so weird. I had to reboot it several times, and I think finally, like, I just let it be long enough to where all the systems actually came online and it started functioning fairly fast. The navigation is great. The Bluetooth connectivity is good. I've got my microphone here. My hands-free is good. I'm really kind of bothered that I can't just use the steering wheel controls to like make calls and stuff, but where the functionality, there's a big screen right there, and so it's easy enough for me to just reach down and you know, quickly like look at that if I'm gonna make a phone call. So not too bad. I'm gonna rock this for a bit and see how it is, and hopefully we'll get some good updates, and hopefully I get a solution to all the steering wheel function controls as well. If I do, I will certainly make an update video on that. But I just want to say thank you for watching, and if you know a CT200H owner that's looking for a bit of an update in their vehicle, this one is okay. And if you need any help or have questions on how this thing functions, feel free to hit me up. You can get a hold of me on my website or on Twitter, and I'd be happy to help you out. So thanks so much. Please like, subscribe, and share, and I will see you on my next project.